Hi, my name is Donna, and I am an OpenSciEd teacher. And today we're going to be going into Lesson 6, part of the B.1 unit. This lesson is the first transfer task that the students will be completing, and it's an exciting opportunity for students to apply what they have learned. I'll go over some key moments to help make this lesson successful. Starting with how we got here. So during lesson 5, we figured out that wildebeest migrate to have more food available, making it so that they can have greater wildebeest population numbers. In this lesson, we are wondering, can we apply our knowledge about limiting factors and carrying capacity to a new scenario with African wild dogs? Let's see the lesson at a glance and the sense-making loops. So this type of lesson is a putting pieces together. It should take 2 days. Minimal material preparation, only 15 minutes. It is not a hands-on investigation and it does not require devices. There are some videos for us to watch in the beginning as well as some optional videos. My students always really enjoyed watching the optional videos, learning more about the African wild dogs and getting an update about how successful they've been with their relocation. Okay, the lesson at a glance. We've got 2 sense-making loops and 4 key moments that we'll be going through in today's video. Sense-making loop 1, the students are going to be preparing for the transfer task and then answering questions 1 through 7 of the transfer task. And they're going to figure out that carrying capacity and limiting factors can be applied to a new species, the African wild dog. And it leads them to wonder, can we take this information that we've learned and then determine if we can apply it to the relocation of a new pack? In sense-making loop 2, the students are going to be answering question 8 of the transfer task and completing a peer assessment. They're going to figure out that wild dogs have a minimum territory size, prey biomass, and avoidance to lions that will determine whether a new pack can be established. And then the students wonder, well, what else is the role of predators in the Serengeti? And they'll be investigating that in the future lessons. So what we figure out throughout this entire lesson, we learn how to complete a transfer task and complete a peer review process, that space, food, and predation can be limiting factors for wild dogs, just like with the wildebeest, and that the role of predators in the Serengeti is complex and that we need more information about it. Let's dive into the key moments. Part 2, preparing for the transfer task. The first time I taught this lesson, I sort of breezed through this part because I wanted to get to the transfer task, but now I intentionally spend more time here, especially because this is the first transfer task that the students will be completing, and they will be working with a partner. We introduce the African wild dog and their conservation dilemma, and we see how the range of the African wild dog has changed over time. I emphasize with my students that even though we're going to be working with partners, it's important that we're not just dividing up the questions, saying, hey, you do questions 1 through 3, I'll do questions 4 through 7, because the story builds as it goes. And if you're not answering some of the questions, you're not getting the complete picture. Part 3, the students are going to be completing the transfer task. Again, organizing the students into pairs is really helpful for this. Really good to save question 8 for the next day. It talks about it in the teacher guide, but giving questions 1 through 7 as separate sheets of paper and then saving question 8 for the next day is really great. The students are going to learn that African wild dogs require at least 350 kilometers squared of space, 100 tons of prey biomass, and they like to avoid lions. They're going to learn this by interpreting graphs and data. Part 8, they're going to be completing a peer assessment and revision. They're going to trade their responses with a partner and complete a peer rubric and then revise their work. And they're going to compare new data to the limiting factors identified previously. They're going to learn through this that the national park can support one pack of 11 through 12 African wild dogs. They're going to be comparing the information that they have about this new location to what they learned are the minimum requirements for African wild dogs in questions 1 through 7. Part 10 is going to be revisiting the driving question board, the DQB. We're going to be looking at what questions have we answered, what questions have not been answered, and has the Serengeti model helped us explain how ecosystems work? So where do we go from here? We've applied our knowledge of carrying capacity to a new system, and we're wondering about the role of predators in the Serengeti ecosystem. I mentioned that the next lesson, they're going to be learning more about the predators of the Serengeti, and you can see a little snapshot of the game that they'll be playing in that lesson. It's a pretty fun game. All right, we are almost there. We are at material management tips and tricks. The first is I emphasize with my students that we are modeling a scientific community and that it's important that we use our resources, notes, and peers in this task, and that grouping students is always a balancing act. I like to give the students some autonomy. I'll usually have them write down 3 friends' names that they would like to work together. And then I can usually partner them with at least one person that's on their list that I know they're going to be in a supportive group with. Next, question 8 can be a little tricky or a little challenging for some students. I support with a word bank. That's a fantastic scaffold. I usually have a word bank prepared and I give them the following words: territory size, biomass, carrying capacity, and lions. And I say, hey, your paragraph or your answer should include these words. And it usually helps them cue into, oh, I learned about territory size and the lions and the carrying capacity in questions 1 through 7. A lot of my students ask what biomass means. I break the word down into its parts. I ask them, what do you think bio means? What do you think mass means? And what happens when we put them together? Revisiting the driving question board allows students to see how important it is, that it's not just a poster we put up at the front of the room and we never talk about again. And I emphasize how the driving question board allows us to assess and identify what we have learned so far in our journey learning about ecosystems and the Serengeti. Next, the on-demand teacher support is a fantastic resource to use here. I've put in an image from one of the resources that I found just for helping with making transfer tasks work. There's a lot of great options there on the on-demand teacher support, and I highly recommend that you check it out. Personal glossary management, we're going to encounter that new word, biomass. And for poster management, we're going to be referencing the driving question board again that was created previously. All right, and with that, we have reached the end of this lesson video. If there's 2 things that I would like you to take away from this video, it'd be that saving question 8 for later and conducting the peer assessment is important for future transfer tasks. It really helps set them up for success. Students walk away from this transfer task feeling accomplished and making meaning of their learning from the first lesson set. In the next lesson, students will play that board game to learn more about the predators. Thank you, and you got this.